Shalom everyone, I'm going to continue the fantastic series, friends, of the daily page of Daf Yomi, page number 36 here, of Masechet Zevachim. Very, very interesting today. Not all improper thoughts will invalidate a sacrifice. That's what we're learning about today, friends. So what's going on over here? As we've learned previously, having the wrong intention when bringing a sacrifice can invalidate the sacrifice of Korban, as they say over here. Now, the final Mishnah in the Perek, inside this chapter of Masechet Zevachim, let's say in the third Perek, obviously, naturally, of Masechet Zevachim, teaches that this applies only to thoughts that focus on issues of time and place. And in the cases of, let's say, the Pesach sacrifice, or the Korban Pesach, as also known as, and a sin offering over here, having the wrong intent with regards to the purpose of the Korban will, let's say, but other inappropriate thoughts will not invalidate the sacrifice. Thus, intending to sprinkle blood in the wrong place on the altar, or thinking that the sacrifice would be brought or eaten by people who were, let's say, categorized as ritually defiled at that stage in time, or by Arelim, people who were not circumcised, both of which are forbidden, will not affect the Korban of it, seemingly. Similarly, let's say, in the case of the Korban Pesach, the Pesach sacrifice, which has unique requirements over here, like eating it roasted. That's one of the things, as we learned about, I believe, in Parashat Bo, in the book of Shemot, as we learned about in the coming months, probably about 3-4 months' time, we're going to see it also, and not breaking any of, let's say, the animal's bones. This is another requirement over here. If the person planned to eat it raw or to break, let's say, the bones, the sacrifice itself will remain even valid, even though these things were forbidden to do over here. So it's not going to, like, jeopardize the sacrifice in of itself per se over here. But now we can progress actually today. That one suggestion, the Gemara offers different explanations for these rules. One suggestion is that even these things, let's say, actually took place even if the sacrifices were eaten by people ritually impure, or people that weren't circumcised, or even if the Korban Pesach was eaten raw or had its bones, as we've spoken about itself over here. Now, there's another approach, let's say, suggested by the Talmud, is that these activities are not controlled by the owner of the sacrifice. Now, the great commentator of the name Rashi is going to actually weigh in here and say that over here, he's going to weigh in and say that the person bringing the sacrifice cannot determine, let's say, that impure people and the people not circumcised will eat the sacrifice, since only the people that are tamei and not circumcised themselves can choose to do this in of itself. So that's one of the things here. Some will explain that even if the person bringing the sacrifice was personally tamei, still it is not in his hands, since the Kohanim will not allow him to touch sacrifice while in a state of, like, say, defilement over here. So very interesting. Have a great day. Robert Anderson Stein, once again.